don't think date nights could ever get old, but I think so many years down the road, to keep things exciting, I think kids help that in a relationship. I see the point of kids after you've been with someone for so long.
So basically what you just said across the table is, you will get bored of me.
I'm not gonna get bored of you.
In a hypothetical universe, Sarah was like, okay, we're going to have kids. And we do. And you find out that wasn't the real problem. And then years from now, you look at me and resent.
Men talk. Men tell their stories, their war stories, the many battles they have endured so that we can learn from them. We're going to highlight this particular story from Sleepy John that you can find in the comment section from the John Cena Proves Why You Need to Protect Yourself at All Times Airtight Relationship Contract video. So join the campfire, have a seat, and let's go into this story. This story is called My Counselor Said Get a Prenup. But no, we were in love. I lost half my money. A useful message 30 years too late. After 20 years of providing for my wife, a career-driven woman who kept her salary, she suddenly wanted kids. After we'd agreed, they weren't important. I lost half my money. But more importantly, like the lady in the show, I'm in my 60s and finally free. Nice and all, but what a waste of time and money I can never get back. My counselor had said, get a prenup. But no, we were in love. I knew at the time that 50% of marriages fail. What I didn't know was that 70% of divorces are filed by women. That changes the bet from put it all on red for love to put it all on the 00 slot in roulette. There was no manosphere to inform and protect men from very dangerous foolishness. Liberty and justice for all replies. If it makes you feel any better, John, at least you're helping young men protect themselves with your comments based on real life experience. Thank you for your service towards improving the next generation. Sleepy John says, thank you. That's my hope. A man in love knows little reason. I'm happier now, on my own, going my own way. I was raised to believe I was incomplete without a woman. However, ladies of that sort no longer exist. I just caught the culture wars full in the face. I hope others can learn from my mistakes and naivety. Leon Henry replies, you should have checked Kevin Samuels. He said women who want careers don't make good wives. Sorry you got burned, bro, but at least you got out child free. Otherwise, you'd be stuck still having to have some sort of relationship. Sleepy John replies, thanks. He wasn't around in 1997 when I made the biggest mistake of my life, getting married. Everyone in New York City worked. She didn't want a career. She wanted to be married. She hated her job. Over time, the messages from the female hive mind started coming in. A career will save you, give you meaning. She found out otherwise and all of a sudden wanted children, but she had already hit the wall. As well, health problems would made it risky indeed for her to try. She just lost her mind and lost her shot at starting a family, and somebody had to pay. Either way, the universe has taken care of me. I have all I need, except the time I wasted, which is what I hope to pass on to young men. Until divorce laws are changed from no fault to yours is yours, mine is mine, and only thing we both paid for is on the block. Divorce is Russian roulette for men. Stay safe. Thanks, Sleepy John, for sharing your story. Good to hear you are doing fine. You said a whole lot of what needed to be said. It's interesting that you mentioned the year 1997 and that you were aware that 50% of marriages failed at the time. It's not a surprise to me that you still decided to get married without a prenup, even though your counselor advised you to get one, because the late 90s were not as toxic as the late 2000s. And unfortunately, things only got worse. And that's surprising to me because the divorce percentage has been increasing annually since 1930. The divorce percentage peaked in 1979 at 53%, and in current times, divorce is still around 50%. I don't think this is correct after 40 years, especially after the 70% initiated divorce by women study came out in 2015 by the ASA. I think the divorce percentage is higher, but we'll have to take a closer look to back this up. In modern times, the internet, social media gave the average Joe a voice. It's not just a counselor that's gonna give you advice, and that makes this space so great. We started this channel because the statistics and data speak for themselves. Bill Burr explained it in a classic manner.
Dude, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? What's it like, 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the drain now? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't gonna open, you're like, yo, forget it, I'm not going. I don't like those odds.
Love is a hell of a drug, but it only makes sense to protect yourself at all times because it's almost inevitable that your wife is gonna divorce you in modern times. Here are some of the reasons why women initiate 70% of divorces. A lack of connection. Women tend to crave a much deeper connection and closeness with their partners. However, many aren't sure of how to ask for it. They believe that their husbands should instinctively know how to connect with them. And when he fails to do so, the woman often feels let down. This can lead to feelings of resentment that, when left unspoken, can fester into major problems and lead to a total breakdown of the relationship. There's not much you can do about this, fellas. We're not gifted with telepathic ability, and men have tried. Men still try. Yesterday's video with Brittany Renner says it all.
So it's the man's job to just...
I'm not saying that there aren't exceptions to the rule. I just feel like the type of man I want knows what he wants, and I don't have to go out of my way. You're gonna know when it's just gonna make. We're gonna.
So
Telepathic ability. Women want you to just understand. The moment they have to explain to you what's going on, it's over.
And that's okay, but that's not a man for me. I don't want to have to teach you. You need to know what you want. And a like me, I'm sorry, a young lady like me, you don't have to come out swinging. Again, I can't hold your hand through this. You have to know what you want.
Modern women are not here to cooperate with you. This is not how they've been raised. And that's the second reason why women file 70% of divorces. Trouble with traditional roles. Michael Rosenfeld, an associate professor of sociology at Stanford University and a central part of the ASA studies, hypothesized that traditional roles in marriage may also be a reason that women file for divorce more frequently. He stated that many husbands continue to expect women to shoulder the bulk of the housework and childcare, regardless of whether or not both partners work outside the home. This inequality in the household, as a carryover from decades past, can cause those festering feelings of resentment for a woman who feels her husband doesn't pull his weight in the home. The possibility of this being a major contributing factor to these desperate numbers is bolstered by how the statistics change when the woman is college educated. In marriages where both partners have a college degree, the wives initiate a staggering 90% of divorces. Women with college degrees are more likely to pursue careers outside the home, slouching off the traditional roles of a housewife. And when both partners have full-time careers, a lack of balance in the household duties becomes much more apparent much more quickly. She doesn't want to do the traditional roles, but she will expect you to pay the bills and keep her money for herself. She will expect you to provide for the romance, and if she decides to stop working, she will expect you to pick up the slack. And that's why women don't like these contracts. These contracts that protect you from her. That's why we make these videos. It's not hate for women or bitterness. No, we just want you to understand what you're dealing with. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. We're not telling you what to do. However, we will give you advice. Don't get married. If it's something that you have to do, make sure you protect yourself at all times. John Cena had a 75-page airtight relationship contract before his girlfriend could move into the house. We're still looking for that contract though. With all the data and statistics at our disposal, it only makes sense that you protect yourself at all times. Manosphere, we working. This video has officially been highlighted.